breaking down friendship sports. This is the Tigers Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back in. I'm Randy Rosetta. This is 100.7 The Score, and it's the High School Fan Zone. We are in the Tiger Fan Zone now. We're going to talk friendship softball. We're going to stay on the softball theme, just talk to the Coronado folks who have warmed up a little bit, kind of starting to find their stride. Friendships had their stride most of district season. A couple of speed bumps here and there, but kind of put a whooping on Odessa Permian last night. If you go to HubCityPreps.com right now, my guy Dane Daniel was out there and covered that game. He was texting me the scores. I was trying to keep up. I'm a little bit of a nerd, girls. I'm sorry. I have two phones, and when I'm covering a game, I've got Game Changer like 3 places trying to keep up with stuff. It's also old man ADD that kicks in. But he was texting me score, and I'm like checking to make sure he's right. He sent me, it was 13-0 in the third inning.
I believe so.
Ryan Miller's the gentleman on my far left. If you can see him, there's his hand. You'll hear his voice. He's got the coaching voice. I want to have him real quick introduce his 3 players that he brought.
Well, I've got Miley Buck right here. Wave Miley.
Hello.
Callie Compion.
Hi.
And Brooklyn Escada.
Who it seems like Brooklyn's been in high school like 7 years.
That's what it feels like.
And I told you I'm a senior. I'm a daughter who's a senior, so be nice to your parents, because it may seem like that to you, but it doesn't seem like that to us. We're not happy about this finish line coming up. This has been a little bit of a transition year, and I think you and I talked maybe the first time we met. You knew this year would be a little bit different with Memorial opening. There was going to be some personnel differences. You guys come off a great season last year, incredible season. Had some players back, had some players who've had to step up. You've had some ups and downs pre-district, but you guys have figured it out a little bit. You completely kick me in the shins if you want to. You guys seem like you may be better offensively right now than you were last year, the times I saw you.
Well, and, we play a tough pre-district schedule for a reason. And, we're not worried about wins and losses pre-district. That's not what we're worried about. We're worried about what's going on right now. We've had a few hiccups here and there. We've played some games that we know that we should have won. But at the same time, we use that as a learning tool. And we've gotten better from those losses than – and, we've talked about this before. Sometimes you learn more from a loss than you do from a win. And we've done some learning this year, but it's made us better.
And girls, this is, I guess it's what you'd call a backhanded compliment, maybe. I've had a couple different guys cover you guys, and when they look at your record, both of them have said, is this record right? Because they're really good. They've seen you play. I think one guy covered you against Odessa High, another one against Odessa Permian, and there was one other game. You guys are a good team. Like Coach said, that record's a little bit deceiving. Since you're the elder statesman here, Brooklyn, this team is different.
Yes. What
has started to click? What's got you guys back to where you're used to being here in District 26A?
Yeah, I think honestly just we've learned to truly work together and work as a team. The games that we score all of these runs in, they're not from a bunch of home runs and us just hitting it over and all of that stuff. It's more, getting people on base and getting those runs in, and that's how we get them in. Like, I think we scored about 5 runs last night off of we had bases loaded, and it was just base hit, base hit, base hit. And so I think we're kind of getting the feel of that and just, working together. And our defense really showed out last night. And so I think all of the girls are finally, growing. I think we found it, but it's hard to maintain it and stay consistent sometimes. But I think, everyone knows their role now.
Third base coaches like it better when you do it that way. They get a little bit more exercise. You don't just stand there and, okay, I'll shake your hand as you go by.
Right.
To be clear, though, Brooklyn's still hitting home runs once in a while, right?
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
Yeah, because last year, I think every time I saw you guys play, she lost a ball. So at some point.
Yes.
Now, you two, were you starters last year, or has this been a new experience for you this year?
It's a new experience for me. I moved up this year.
And then I was on varsity last year, but I wasn't a starter. But this year I'm a starter, so it's still a new experience for me as well.
And what is the count, Ryan, returning starters that were there last year and ones that have grown on the vine this
Could
year?
have told you if you wouldn't ask me. Let's see, what do we have? We got 4 starters returning, and everybody else is new.
So, and second year coach, to me, that second year, you're still new. They're still getting used to you. You're still getting used to them. So to me, that's not the worst thing in the world to have some growing pains, because like you said, you grow from those. That first word means something. So Friendship is 5-2 in district with 3 games left. 3 games left. Still got some work to do, but playoff bound. Now it's just a matter of where and what spot and all that depends on who else gets there. So coming up on the break, we'll come back after this, talk more Friendship softball on 100.7 The Score in the high school fan zone.
Bringing you the latest news from Friendship Athletics. This is the Tiger Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back in. This is the high school fan zone on 100.7 The Score. I'm Randy Rosetta. We're talking Friendship softball. Tigers are, since Brooklyn asked me, the Tigers are 12-14 overall, 5-2 in district with 3 games left. They have San Angelo Central at home on Friday, and then finish up with back-to-back road trips to Midland. Midland High is really good, 28-3, and they're 7-0 in district. You guys saw them the last few years. Did you think they were going to be this good this year, Brooklyn? Or
Honestly, I didn't think they were going to be as dominant as they are this year. The times we've played them these past 3 years, they definitely have been a competitive team to go against, but nothing like, anything crazy. But this year, they've definitely shown who they are and the team that they are. And, I think every single one of those girls, I've also played with a lot of them for a really long time. They have a lot of passion for the game. And it's not just a game to them. And so they take it very seriously. So honestly, knowing those players for the people that they are, I'm not surprised they're doing as well as they're doing.
Help my old man brain here, Ryan. Wasn't one of the games against them 1-0, 2-1 last year?
Yes.
Yep.
Every year.
We played them very tight both games last year.
what I thought.
We beat them at their place, and then they beat us at ours. So, anytime we play Midland, it's a good game for us. Again, we had 1 inning
Yep.
against them this last time that we played them that really put us in a hole. But after that, between those innings, I guess we should say we were right there. We had them, and right where we wanted them, and then we hurt ourselves.
One thing you guys are having to deal with this year is that all those 6A teams are going to get their final swipes at you.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be a 5A team next year, so it's going to be a little bit different, which you'll be the only one, you and Coach, who get to experience that. For you two, not including Midland, which puts up like video game numbers against just about everybody they play, how has playing in that district helped you grow up and become better softball players just in these last 7 games? Because that's a different level of competition. You play really good teams before, but those 6A teams, there's usually not a whole lot of weaknesses.
I feel like because it's my first year on varsity, it's very different. It's a very different ball game from JV and varsity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm facing more competitive teams when I never had. I'm getting more hard hits. I'm facing better pitchers than I did these past 2 years. And it's making me be more confident in my fielding and hitting, and that's what I like.
What about you, Miley? You said you were on varsity, so you got to see a little bit of it, but being out there, how different has that been?
Let me think. Sorry. I think it definitely helped build my mindset better as an athlete overall. It made me more mentally tough and just ready for anything. And I like the difference from JV and varsity. I like the competitive level more, and just I don't know, just really just being ready for anything. And I don't know.
Ryan, you work with all the girls, sub-varsity. You focus on the varsity girls, but having girls that come up from JV who you haven't been as involved with, that growing process for them and you, and not to mention Roxy moved down the road, moved up the road to Memorial, so your right-hand assistant coach is now going to be coaching against you, so you had to get a new coach in there to adjust to that as well. How challenging and invigorating has it been for you to kind of weave younger players into that mix?
Well, in all honesty, the way we structure our practices, I mean, we're very involved with the JV. So all three of us are working at all times with these kids, and so we really don't split them. Like for individual, we stay together. So I'm getting to see these kids throughout, and that's why I like doing it that way, is so that it's not a big, hey, who are you?
Right.
We kind of know what's going on and who's coming up, and we're developing all at the same time. And so we do a lot of things together. We do a lot of things, separate as well. But majority of stuff, I get to see what's coming. And
you're not a scary dude. You're pretty mild mannered, because I know when I was in high school, my varsity coach, he scared the heck out of me. I loved my coaches each year as we got up there, but I was just afraid, like, is this guy going to know who I am? And usually you guys know who players are coming up. So
except for this one. Who are you? She just showed up one day.
Again, San Angelo Friday at home. Then they go to Midland for 2 games, and then we're pretty sure we'll go ahead and say then they'll have playoffs after that. So we'll know who from El Paso. We probably won't know until the very last minute with El Paso. They don't ever figure things out quickly. So the Tigers going back to the playoffs. I know Robbie's told me before he left how many in a row that had been. It's been a long time. So, and then next year it's into 5A for Ryan and say your name again? Callie Compion.
Yes.
There we go. That wraps us up in the Tiger Fan Zone. We'll be back after this break talking Lubbock Cooper Track in the Pirate Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.